Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Got a new Yu-Gi-Oh video for you guys today. New Cyber Dragon video, as a matter of fact. And today we're doing something a little bit different. So today we are going to talk about this. So what this is, guys, is a Fiendsmith Cyber Dragon deck that got top 8 at Las Vegas WCQ regional. And I've been saying it for a while that Fiendsmith Cyber Dragon is the way to go. In my opinion, it's the most competitive version of the deck right now. And looking at this guy's build at first, I like the way it looks. You know, 1 Younganda, one Sidra, 3 core, 2 Hertz, Naxter, 3 claws for starters, Chimera, Worm, the Fiendsmith engine, Magnamut, that's interesting, and a million hand traps for going second. I'm assuming from the way this looks, this is particularly a going second build with the potential to go first if needed. It is a little bit big, 49 cards is crazy, but I also really like his extra deck. What do I have in mind that he doesn't have? I have 2 Rampages, he has 1 with Chaos, and he replaces it with Chaos Angel. Other than that, our extra decks are identical. Even majority of our main deck besides the non-engine, our decks are almost exactly the same. And I play one less engraver because I play a smaller package. Mine's only 42 cards. Well, so this interested me. It was nice to see that we got a top, and they did a video on it, and we're going to be reacting to said video. I've also heard some things about some of the stuff he says in the video, and I want to talk about it. So if you guys enjoy this kind of content, want to see me react to other players' Cyber Dragon content, let me know. We can turn it into a thing. I can give you guys my honest opinion on a lot of this stuff, but remember, this is all my opinion. And yeah, so drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Let's jump in and let's check it out. All right, so we are going to watch the deck profile just to hear his card choices, see how well I agree with them, and I think he does combo lines too. And then we'll talk about that. Let's go.
What is going on, guys? This is Cyber Horn 92. I'm here, D1 and only.
It's Mir Brown.
And what did you do at the Vegas regional today?
I top 8'd with Cyber Dragon Fiendsmith.
Wait, can you say that again?
Cyber Dragon Fiendsmith.
What? Dude, that is
Gotta show it love, gotta show it love.
crazy. All right, before we get into the deck profile, do you want to give any shout-outs, by the way?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll shout out all the players of Las Vegas, obviously, People's Card Shop. If you're ever in Vegas, definitely best store to get all your Yu-Gi-Oh products, or actually, a lot of other card game products, but mainly Yu-Gi-Oh.
I'll let him do a shout out.
Yeah, ready when you are, my guy.
All right, we're gonna start off with the hand traps. We did 3 Ash Blossom.
Of course. Now, I've always wondered what's better between having 3 Ash and 3 Droll. Ash, I think, hits more things, where like Droll's hyper impactful. It could straight shut down a turn, but Ash just has more flexibility, in my opinion.
3 Wallows, self-explanatory. I did main deck 2 Corulia. I cited the 3rd one. We did 1 Nibiru, 1 Joel.
You can actually hear somebody else doing a deck profile in the back, but I'm guessing the Drone Loppert and the Nibiru are for cross-out targets.
Blackbird. Now, part of the reason I only did 1 and 1 was mainly for cross-out designator targets.
Called it.
My deck was
Guys, I'm locked in. You need to understand, since I've gotten back into Yu-Gi-Oh, since I started having to do this whole competitive Cyber Dragon series, the way I look at the game has changed a lot.
account was already at 49, so
What? That is crazy.
yeah, I'm trying to cut down on it, man, but I knew a lot of people like, what the hell, you playing over 40 cards? It works. We also played 1 Magnamut. Now, the synergy with this deck, not only does it play as a hand trap, but it also searches you the Cyber Dark Claw. He's a
So if you open up Magnamut, you can use it as a hand trap and get you into engine, because Claw is a starter.
the dragon, obviously, but he's the to get to the Cyber Dark Realm, this main combo piece for the deck. But MVP, we did 3 Cyber Dragon Core.
Makes the deck go.
1 card full combo, which if you want, you can try at the end of the video. That's up to you. Then we did 2 Cyber Dragon Hertz. I'm probably gonna cut down to 1 on this one.
That's what I did. I originally started out with 2, and I ended up cutting it down to 1.
The theory behind the second one was, in case my opponent did break my board, that you had follow up for the next turn with Cyber Dragon Core and
You just have so many ways to get it back in deck.
Grave to get into Hertz to get you back your Naxter, but it never came up once, so I'm gonna probably cut this down to 1.
It just, like, on paper, it sounds good, the things you can do with Hertz, but it doesn't come up in a realistic game, not with the way that Yu-Gi-Oh is played now. The games are too fast, too explosive, and even if you get Hertz stuck into the grave, you have ways to banish it to then send it back with cards like Cyberload Fusion.
We did one Cyber Dragon.
Oh,
That's the OG Cyber Dragon.
I have the alt art ulti.
Now, other than being searched off, Cyber Dragon hurts. The other card that it played with was the new card, Cyber Jormungandr. Hopefully, I'm going to pronounce that correctly.
The fact that for me that's a good card going first and second. It's a way to end my combo and to make sure I follow up, go after my first turn, and it's just a really annoying card to deal with if when you're going second because your opponent has to answer it.
But, so he's a one card infinity, but this card you make it you go first or go with second card, makes the spell trap negate, which I'll show you guys here in a moment.
I like what this guy's saying. So far. We're locked
We
in.
did one Naxter, self-explanatory for Cyber Dragon, brings back any of your Cyber Dragon monsters. Then we played 3 Cyber Dark Claw.
Pseudo starter.
The theory behind the 3 Claw and the 3 Realm that you're about to see here in a moment was if the core gets negated, you want to obviously want to extend still, so the Cyber Dark Claw and Realm allows you to continue to make the same end board as long as you have one or the other.
The big difference with his build to mine, and the reason I play 2 Rampage, is because with double Rampage, it turns Claw and Realm into 1 card starters themselves. You don't even need to see Core. He wants these cards to back up Core, so if Core gets negated, he can keep playing. Me, I don't need Core to play. If I get Realm or Claw, I can play with just those cards. So I have 12 starters. He's locking himself to 3 with some extenders. Sorry, 6 because he also has emergency.
And I won the game.
Then we played one Cyber Dark.
You only need 1.
Searches the power bond, and also when it gets sent, it sends this guy.
The
Which is
goat.
a lot of work. Like, this is actually part of the big part of the reason that this deck is able to go first now is because of this card.
Love that card.
I'll show you guys why here in a moment.
I chose Sync.
Still shouldn't be once per duel.
Then we played one Regulus. It's searchable off the Clockwork Knight and Grave, which you pitch off of the Chimera to search the power bond. So if you're going first, usually you're searching for the Regulus, so you can continue your plays through hand traps.
I resolved them against.
Then for Fiendsmith Engine, we did 3 Fiendsmith Engraver. We did 1 Lacrima, 1 Luring.
I played 2. I would have played 3 if I could have found the room, but I was already at 42 and I could not figure out for the life of me something to cut.
That's it for the monsters. Then for spells, we did 3 Cyber Emergency. Like I said, you want to get to your core because that's going to be your main combo piece. So every card that you have to get to it, obviously you want to play as maximize on it. MVP of the day, spell.
I love Realm.
Cyber Dark Realm spell.
It's so good now.
Because of this card, the Clockwork Knight is how you're able to get into the Regulus, get into just the overall combo. You'll see here in a second as to
Even
an additional normal summon
you can even fledge your opponent out because of Clockwork Knight now.
with the Cyber Dark Chimera, and also as your fodder to search with the Clockwork Knight.
It's a lot of testing.
Then we played 2 droplets.
So many options. Like,
That's crazy because I played 2 droplets. That was the last minute decision too.
there's even like decks in Japan.
Then we did play 1 fusion substitute. So the Cyber Jormungandr, he states that he can search polymerization by returning a Cyber Dragon from your field back to your hand. So all of them pretty much count as Cyber Dragon.
I swear to God, guys, comment section, that this card has seen such an uptake in play because of my videos. Because I swear to God, I was the first person to put this on the net in Cyber Dragon combos. And now I see this shit everywhere.
So you're returning any of your monsters back to get this. And this always counts as polymerization, but it only fusion summons from the field, but it has a draw effect in the grave.
And that 1 extra card matters because the Cyber Dragon combo blows through so much of your deck that you're almost guaranteed to draw into something good.
Cyber Dark, Clockwork Knight.
You only need 1.
Going first searches the Regulus, but going second allows you to contact fuse your opponent's entire board.
Yep.
And that came up a couple times today. So this card put in a lot of work.
Goated.
And because it's searchable, you just play it at 1.
Goated.
Power Bond, it's searchable, part of the combo piece to end on 2 of your negates.
You don't even want to see it.
One ofs, Crossout Designator, Triple Tactics Talents, called by the
Trinity to deal with hand traps.
Grave, and the 1 Trapped.
I also played 1.
For spells, for traps, we did 3 Imperm and Fiendsmith and Paradise.
yeah, it's just shorting your paradigm.
For anybody that hasn't seen my videos talking about YCS, Fiendsmith at Paradise has become my favorite Fiendsmith card. That card put in so much work for me at YCS and beyond.
Will you change anything about your list, or you like the way it is for the main deck?
As far as the main deck, probably just gonna cut down on one Cyber Dragon Hurts. That's the only thing that really came up to where I, like, if I saw the Cyber Dragon Hurts, it's like it doesn't feel good seeing it. It's just being sent off of your combo with the Cyber Dragon Worm, because he sends for cost, so you send the Hurts, he adds a spell from grave, and then the Hurts will give you back a Cyber Dragon from grave or from your deck. So it never came up where I needed to, so I really think I'm going to cut it down to one.
Main deck, I love the guy's build. He has a lot of theories that I also use a lot of text that I personally use. I just don't like the 49 cards. And I get it. Extra Hurts, extra Engraver, all the Mulcharmies. Like, his deck probably has a better chance going second than mine does. But I ideally want to go first anyway. But I love his build. Love it.
Extra deck, we did Cyber Dragon Infinity, Cyber Dragon Nova, High King Caesar.
High King Caesar's dope.
That's it for the XYZs. Rampage Dragon put in a lot of work today, either OTKing or part of the piece to.
I play it at 2 because, like I said, I wanted more starters. Having 2 of them in the extra deck turns Claw and Realm into starters. And that's the big difference between my extra deck and his. Actually, that's the only difference. The rest of our extra deck is identical.
Make your negates going first. This is your spell trap negate, but it also gives you back your power bond during the next standby phase. So if the opponent outs the board, you have follow-up with the Rampage Dragon, because...
I know I've paused it a million times and we're only 6 minutes into a 17-minute video, but the reason Heals for Rug grew on me and why I wanted to make sure that was in my end board is because Cyber Dragon used to be blow your load, you're done. Your opponent breaks your board or you don't kill them, you got nothing left. But now, between all the draw power and cards like Heals for Rug, we actually have some follow-up now. We actually have some recursion. We have a way to make sure we can play, turn 3, turn 4.
You can return the Rampage Dragon off of the Fusion Substitute, which I'll show you guys here in a moment. One Desiree, Fortress Dragon. This is how you contact fuse your opponent's board.
Mega Fleet.
Mega Fleet.
Link Monsters.
Contact fuse from the EMZ. It came up a lot where I was up against Malice, where they set up that Omni Negate guy, the Link 5. So you set a Cyber Dragon monster, and you just contact fuse their Omni Negate to make the Mega Fleet.
That's legit.
How many times have you done contact?
I did that at least twice.
For anybody wondering about rulings, you can set a Cyber Dragon monster to go into Mega Fleet. You cannot set a Cyber Dragon monster to go into Fortress. Fortress requires OG Cyber Dragon. So unless you have a way to set OG Cyber Dragon, you can't do it. Because the Cyber Dragon monsters, the babies, are not treated as Cyber Dragon while they're face down.
Today, so it did come up a few times.
Oh, that's cool.
And last fusion is the Necro Whip.
Good card.
If you have Cyber Dark Claw, I mean, there's a lot of cards in this deck that allow you to discard monsters from your hand.
And you get an
So
extra
if
draw.
I go into this and I have a Cyber Dark Claw in my hand, I just discard the Claw, get Realm, and then you just get a free draw off the Necro Whip. Then for links, we did the one
Requiem, of course.
Moon,
The Bridge. Sequence. SP.
SP Little Knight, and then the MVP
go.
Link 1. Link 1s are so broken. I don't care what deck you're playing, the Link 1s are usually very broken.
Like Clockwork Knight, just searching Clockwork Knight is already fantastic, especially since we're playing a deck that main decks a searchable continuous spell. But the fact that it can also bring back a machine monster from the graveyard is just so spicy.
But this is how you get your Clockwork Knight and your Regulus, and when you link off the Chimera, getting your Worm into the Cyber Dark Worm into the grave. And then we played the one Chaos Angel.
Do you
Again, that's the big difference between me and him.
change anything about your extra deck, or you like the way how it is?
The extra deck, I don't think there was any changes that I would make as of right now. No, everything actually came up today. Like literally everything came up.
That's good.
So there's not a single thing I would pull out of the extra. All right, and then side deck, we did 3 Lancia. I played against a lot of Malice today, so it came up obviously. We also did 3 Meows, also against Malice. 2 Cycle Reader.
Oh, how was that for today?
Well, I did play against 1 Blue Eyes deck, so I did come up against the Blue Eyes deck. And also in theory, it was for any Fiendsmith variant deck as well, but that was the thought behind it. Then the 1 Perulia, or the 3rd Perulia. Then we did 2 Lightning Storm.
Ooh, is that the ultimate artwork?
That's the ultimate Cyber Dragon artwork.
I want the alt arts. I don't have them yet.
Oh,
Playing Cyber Dragons, you have to play this.
Yeah, you have to. You have to, man.
Then you're going first cards, Solemn Judgment.
Old men say no, and Rivalry, yo.
I like those. I have no problem with his side deck. Our side decks were similar. The only difference is I had D-Fissure, Thrust, 2 Thrusts, and Sanctum for going first against decks like Raziel and Malice. Because Raziel, I'm going to set D-Fissure. Malice, I'm going to get into Lancia with Sanctum. And other than I didn't have the extra hand traps. I had my Fulos in my side deck. So, solid side deck.
So this actually came up today, where if I draw this card in my opening hand, especially obviously going first, or you're only siding when you're going first, but if this is your opening hand, you do not use the Clockwork Knight to search for Regulus. You keep the Clockwork Knight on board. As soon as your opponent summons 1 monster, you flip over the Rivalry, and now the game's over. They can't summon anything else.
You have any OTK
Like,
next
hey,
turn?
do you have any machines?
I might put Rivalry in my side deck.
If
might.
not, you can't summon anything. And then you proceed to kill him the next turn.
True. Oh, and before ending this video, you showed a cool combo, the one you were telling us about.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the combo.
Alright, so here's where the
let me,
controversy
pull
is.
everything out very quick just to make it faster.
Take your time. Yo, guys, this is max rarity. Max rarity.
Well, there's some cards in here that are collector rare. Like most would argue that max rarity is going to be like the QCR versions, but me personally, I like the collector rares.
I'm happy my
I'm
ulti
still gonna
rares.
say max rarity. He could max rarity if he want, guys.
I want you guys to take note of how many cards he's taking out of his deck. This is how many cards you burn through going with the full combo. That shit's crazy.
And you said 49 cards, right?
49 cards.
Wow, that's insane.
All right. So your main combo piece obviously is going to be the
Core.
Cyber Dark, or not Cyber Dark, Cyber Dragon Core. Now, just a
Search
heads up
realm.
before I say this combo. Obviously, starting out with 5 cards in hand, you're going to want to discard something earlier off of the Clockwork Knight to search Regulus, just so you're not going to get hit with hand traps later on. But if you absolutely have to, you can make this entire board off of only this card. So you're going to normal summon Core.
I usually like to ditch OG Cyber Dragon, which I search with Hertz.
You're going to search the Cyber Dark Realm. You'll activate the Cyber Dark Realm.
Grab
That's going to
Chimera.
give you the Chimera. This also gives you an additional normal summon, so you're going to normal summon the Chimera. Then
Link.
you're going to link off the Cyber Dragon Core into the Clockwork Knight.
That's one difference I make. I usually go Chimera first. I'll send Chimera with Clock to link into Clockwork Knight because you can chain block Clockwork Knight and Chimera's dump effects. At this point, he has to use Clockwork Knight's effect. He cannot chain block, so he can get ashed here. And then when Chimera gets sent, Chimera is sending a monster from deck to grave. He can also get hit there. So depending on what you have in hand, I'd like to be able to chain block.
Let's see. Clockwork Knight will activate sending the realm in order to search the spell card Clockwork Knight. So this is now in your hand. You're going to use Chimera's effect, pitching the Clockwork Knight in order to
grab
search
Power Bond.
for Power Bond.
All I did was I left
So Power Bond's in hand. Then you're going to link these 2 away and go into full Fiendsmith combo.
other than that.
Chimera will
So here's where the controversy is that I heard. So hold up.
activate when he's sent to the graveyard.
Dump Swarm.
He's going to send a Cyber Dark Worm from
I did this, like this exact play, linked into Moon, and I forgot to dump Worm. It's actually why I lost to Odeon at YCS. because my combo got shut down by my own misplay.
Deck to grave.
I was so mad.
Then the rest of this part of the combo is going to be Fiendsmith. I'm just going to do the quick version here very quick. So,
Got Lacrima.
And does this combo play around Nibiru by any chance? Just curious on that.
So this is where, like I said, you want to do the clock.
At this point, you don't care if you get nibbed. You want your opponent to nib the Fiendsmith stuff.
Clockwork Knight maybe sooner. Like you can search the Regulus and discard another card from your hand. I'm just showing you how this deck can go off of only one card. But yes, in theory, you're going to want to do the Clockwork Knight before you start going.
Even if you Clockwork Knight ahead of time, and say you still dump Hertz with Worm to get OG Cyber Dragon, you can just ditch the OG Cyber. Well, you can keep the OG Cyber Dragon in hand for when you return the Nexter. So you don't really lose out on much. It's just you'll have one less card going through the rest of your turn.
Going into the Fiendsmith line, just so you can put a negate on board and protect your combo.
Makes sense.
But right now I'm just going as if I'm going uninterrupted. Lacrima.
Dump Engraver.
We'll send the Engraver. Then you're going to equip this to the Lacrima and go into the Necroquit.
And this is where we shut off. So you cannot do this. You cannot do this at all. So if you use Chimera's effect, Chimera locks you for the rest of turn to only being able to use Cyber Dragon and Machine monsters as fusion material. You can't do that. So I don't know how many times he did this in the tournament, but you cannot do this. The best you can do, starting off with core with the exact same line that he started off with, but you would summon Lacrima, you would send back Moon to summon Engraver where it is, and then you can link into SP Little Knight, setting you up Lacrima for the following turn. And then on your opponent's turn, you can use Lacrima to summon out Requiem to summon Lacrima from the deck to dump Fiendsmith in Paradise. You cannot, whatever he's about to do, you can't do it.
That's cool. They're actually like hard.
Then Fiendsmith Engraver will activate,
Sending back Moon.
the Moon.
Yeah, you can't do this.
Then you go into Season.
Believe me, if I could do this, I would absolutely do it, but you can't. You can't. He's locked by under Chimera. Also, one more ruling for anybody that doesn't know, with Chimera's effect, I just found this out recently. So Chimera says that once during that turn, if you would fusion summon, you can fusion summon using your hand field and graveyard by banishing cards from your graveyard. If you fusion summon without banishing cards, that carries over until you actually use a fusion spell that you want to banish. So if I were to power bond and just power bond cards in my hand or cards on my field, and then play something like Cyberload Fusion and then banish it all from the grave, then like it lingers until you actually go for the banish.
Then you're going to activate the Cyber Dark Worm effect in grave. So as
Dump
a
Hertz.
cost, he sends a Cyber Dragon monster from deck to grave. So you'll send this before he comes out.
And then you add
when he comes out, he gives you back
a cyber spell.
a cyber spell or trap from the grave.
So you add Realm.
This
Hertz.
is what you'll discard now off of the Clockwork Knight. So you'll discard this by banishing
Mine's
the
better.
Clockwork Knight.
And then they release these packages like
And then you're going to search Regulus to your hand.
And Hertz would have got him Cyber Dragon.
Regulus will then summon. You'll target the Chimera in grave.
So we got all the credit for that.
Let's see. Then you are going to activate. Oh, hold on. Sorry. The Hertz. Before you get that far, sorry. The Hertz is actually going to add you a Cyber Dragon, so that adds it to your hand. So this is what you have in your hand right now.
You don't have Chimera in hand.
Then you're going to activate the Power Bond. Because you activated Chimera earlier this turn, he allows you one time this turn to banish from the graveyard for the fusion materials. So you'll banish the Hertz and the Core.
Yep.
And now you're going to summon the Rampage Dragon.
And then you overlay into Infinity.
This one.
So he's actually losing a card with the way he's doing his combo, and I'll explain when we get to it, because I already see what he's going to do.
Grave. Now, a lot of
dump
people
next
actually
turn,
question
Nemekin.
this because there's a ruling with, Megalo.
Yeah.
So you can't actually use Megalo during the very first first turn.
Why not?
Because I think it sends for cost. But the ruling on this one, it doesn't send for cost. It's actually allowed to actually send. I don't really know the reasoning behind it,
That's
but
funny.
you actually can do it. I did verify that a couple times.
I mean, I knew that.
So then you're going to send both Naxter and
So his effect is to send light machine monsters, and he gains that many additional attacks. Nothing says he has to attack.
Jormungandr from deck to grave. You'll then go
He's also missing SP Little
to
Knight.
Nova Dragon.
Nova detach.
When you activate the effect of the Nova Dragon, you want to detach the Rampage. You'll bring back Naxter. Naxter is going to bring back Jormungandr. And you still have Cyber Dragon in your hand right now. Jormungandr will activate, returning the Naxter, so you can now search your deck for the Fusion Substitute. Then you're going to pitch the Cyber Dragon to special summon back the Naxter, because the Fusion Substitute can only summon by fusing from the field.
So then he fuses into the
You'll
Field
then
Spore.
activate the Fusion Substitute, sending these two to the grave, and then you're going to summon out your Spell Trap Negate. His effect will activate on summon to
get Power Bomb back.
next standby phase. Add you back a card that will fusion summon from the graveyard, so you end up getting back the Power Bond. Now you're going to activate the Fusion Substitute, and you're going to return the Rampage Dragon back to the deck.
So draw an extra card.
And then you just end up drawing a card. Doesn't matter what this is, but you might get.
So at the end of his combo, he has 5 cards in hand. At the end of my combo, I have 7.
You might get into a hand trap. You never know. It's happened a couple times. So this is the end board, and then during the next standby phase, you get back the Power Bond. So you literally during your opponent's standby phase, you literally still have 6 cards in your hand. You have a Spell Trap Negate. Oh, hold on. Missed the step here.
You good, you good.
I did this in the
Cyber
other video
Dragon
too.
Infinity.
Yeah, Cyber Dragon Infinity. So you have a Spell Trap Negate, you have an
Two
Omni
Omni
Negate,
Negates.
an Omni Negate, 2 Special Summon Negates, and then in your graveyard you do have a Lacrima set up for Paradise.
That's like 5 interruption, including your cards in hand. Yo, that's insane.
Yeah, and that's all off of just core.
Just a core? Wow.
Just core.
That is insane.
Alright,
And
it
what
looks
made you
like-
play this deck? Do you mind me asking? Just curious.
So Cyber Dragon, like
I'll let the
as a
video finish and then we'll talk.
Seeing GX for the first time and watching Zane play with the Cyber Dragons, I don't know. I just fell in love with the Cyber Dragon deck from that moment. But I also
Me
like
too.
the Hero deck. But Cyber Dragon between the two was my favorite. So now that they made this new support for Cyber Dragon, that you can actually go first, because when I used to play Cyber Dragon, you would usually just end on an Infinity and that was it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you would
this is a
die.
lot.
Yeah, like nowadays, just an Infinity is nowhere near enough.
Yep.
This might get you there.
Yeah. That is true. And congrats for getting 7th place. In our book, you usually got 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, but it's okay. You'll get it next time.
Yeah, I was at table 2 when during the last round, and I won that last round too. So I thought I was gonna be top 4, but we got 7th.
Yeah, it is what it is. But will we be seeing you at National this year?
Yes, definitely will be seeing.
Yeah. And your boy Cyber492 is signed up. Thank you for the deck profile. Please.
All right, let's talk about it. So my combo is a little more optimized than this. He had a couple things in his combo that I didn't like. Also, you can't go into that part of the Fiendsmith line. You can't go into Necro Quit Princess. It doesn't work. You just can't do it. Someone tried to argue with me saying you could do it in a different order. No, you absolutely cannot do it. And then not without burning through more cards in it. Not if you want a true 1-card combo. So a couple things that he can do different in this combo to optimize it a little bit better. Put it up. So core. So this part was fine. Core into Realm. Realm gets Cyber Dark Chimera. Chimera. Normal summon Chimera. He linked into Core. Went from there. Again, I would normally send the Chimera just to be able to chain block. That's fine. And then right here, he adds Clockwork Knight, and then he goes to use Chimera's effect. All good things, all good things. This is the big difference. Well, one of the big differences. You go into Moon, and then you can go into Requiem. Requiem grabs Lacrima. Lacrima dumps Engraver. The way the combo's supposed to go is you summon back Engraver, and then you link both of them into SP Little Knight. This gets you Lacrima set up to get Fiendsmith in Paradise. It gets you SP Little Knight, but you cannot get into the Fiendsmith line once you use Chimera's effect. And there's no way to bring back Chimera properly to still have the materials to make full board. So we're gonna skip this part. Now from here, he activates Worm, dumps Hertz, grabs Realm, gets Cyber Dragon. So that's 2 extra cards in hand. This is the part that, to be fair, this took me a lot of working to figure out this part of the combo. He's talking about summoning Regulus early. If you want to summon Regulus early, absolutely. Absolutely, that's fine. It does cost you an extra card. He ended up keeping the Cyber Dragon in hand to have his fodder for Nexter. Me, I usually use the Cyber Dragon as my fodder for Clockwork Knight to get me my Therion King Regulus, and then I'll immediately summon Therion King Regulus, equipping the Cyber Dragon. Because when you get all the way to this part of the combo, you'll have it equipped to the Therion King, and Jormungandr can bounce back Cyber Dragon from anywhere, including your spell and trap zone. So he'd be able to keep these on board, bounce back the Cyber Dragon, giving him fusion fodder for next turn. So now he only needs one more Cyber Dragon monster to be able to make Rampage. He's going to get Power Bond back, and you still get to do fusion substitute and draw your extra card. So he gets to keep, I mean, granted, Realm doesn't really do much after turn 1, but he gets to keep the Realm, keep the Cyber Dragon. He gets to draw the extra card off of fusion substitute, and still have 4 more cards to play with. So if the 4 other cards are non-engine, he still only needs 1 monster to be able to OTK. But I'm just upset about this because I don't know how many Caesar is a ridiculously powerful card, especially, you know, going Necro Crypt Princess and then ditching Claw to get an extra draw so you can get even more card advantage, but you just can't do it in the Cyber Dragon combo. The only way you could actually do that is if you do Fiendsmith combo first, which means you have to open it since we have no way to actually search it. I'm gonna take a look at the comments real quick. So I just want to apologize to everyone about misexplaining the combo. It is something I didn't catch either. I wasn't intentional, but could do the exact same combo and end on SP Little Knight instead and have Lachrima set up engrave. That say somebody so everybody caught it and he said it. Or I was told that if you do Fiendsmith combo first, you can still get into Caesar. Once again, I apologize to everyone. So I love his build, again, it's a little bit big for me, so I would cut a few things. His extra deck was damn near the exact same as mine, minus 1 card, because I like I said, I put in Rampage purely to have another starter, another 6 starters, and his side deck was good too. I just don't have that many hand traps, and when I was making the deck, I didn't have the funds to dump into all that stuff. But I'm happy with mine was. As the other stated, resolving Chimera means you are locked into Machine Dragon Fusion Cyber monsters as material. So you off of 1 card, you still get a 5 interruption board, which is absolutely crazy for Cyber Dragon. And if you open up Fiendsmith, you get the 5 interruption board plus High King Caesar, which is what, 7 interruptions? So yeah, not to mention anything else you have in hand. So solid deck. I'm glad the guy got the top. I'm surprised nobody else caught that, but then again, Cyber Dragon is an extremely rogue deck, and some rulings people just don't get. Some people don't even know that you can still contact views with an OG Cyber Dragon from the back row. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know how you guys feel about his deck profile and his combo. Obviously, he already knows how he would fix it. I already know how I would fix it. It's crazy seeing people doing the things that I was doing. Like, he took my deck build, expanded on it to fit more hand traps, more non-engine. His combo is almost my exact line with a couple of optimizations on my side to make it just a little bit different. And like his theory on his actual deck build, like, bro, I was saying that stuff when I was on stream building the deck. So I clearly I did something right. Clearly I did something right. Anyway, guys, that's gonna be it from me. Thanks for everybody that tuned in. Thanks for everybody that supported my Cyber Dragon content. I do plan on streaming more. I did work on Cyber Synchro on last stream. Next stream we're working on Cyber Orcus, and lastly we'll be working on Cyber Dragon K9 to have a build for that when it comes out. I want to do things that were already out first before going into future stuff. I will say that Cyber Synchro, while it has some cool ideas, I'm not the biggest fan of it. But anyway, moving on from that, guys, check me out on social media, links down below. Shout out to Tamir Brown for getting his top. Shout out to Cyberhorn92 for posting the video. Guys, go show them some love. That's it for me. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.
See it in my eyes, I was born for this. I got demons on my side, you ain't right like this. I got reason to believe, I don't need it from my gifts. Only I can change the world and it go like this.